Welcome to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Thank you. Can you see that space in between the machine? Okay, I hope you can see. So I'll put hand from underneath and insert. Did you see this hole here? I'll make sure this part of my shuttle enters that hole. Did you see that? Now to fix my thread, I'll place my thread here and bring it here, this upper part of your machine. From here, I'll bring it here. I'll take it behind my machine. Inside this, there's this space here. You take it behind. Can you see? From there, I'll pass it inside this stuff that is moving here. From the back, I'll bring it to the front. Can you see? Then from there to this part. Can you see? Then from there, I'll just use this to hang here. Then lastly, I'll fix it on my machine needle from outside in. So I'll fix like this. And pass it inside. I'll pass it inside. So now after passing it inside, I'll just turn my machine a little to the front, just to pull out the thread under. Can you see? Can you see it has pulled out the thread under? Can you see the thread? Now I'll pull out my thread. Now my machine is ready to sew. My machine is ready to sew. Then I can close this up. So that is that for the manual machine. When sewing, make sure that this part of your machine is not fully down. Make sure that it's around between 8 here, 7 and 8 here. Don't push it down. When you push it down, you're sewing gathers. When you're sewing, so you bring it up a little to around 8. So if I want to sew now and I'm trying to like top stitch, so have you started? If I want to sew and I'm trying to sew now, I'll move it to the front. Can you see? I raised my machine up from here. When you want to bring this up, you do it from here. This is down, this is up. Then you place it down and then you sew. When you are turning this, notice the leg. When I'm moving this with my hand, can you see it's moving without moving my leg? So it means I will move to the direction of where this thing is moving to. So if I'm turning like this and it's moving, I'll flow with where it's moving to. Can you see? Because it's moving to the front. Now it's sewing my material. It's sewing my material. So you practice how to do this. So for you to practice, you can even draw a straight line on a normal pieces cloth like this and be using it to practice how to sew on a straight line. How to sew on a straight line. Can you see that? So if I'm done with my sewing and I need to take my machine to the back, like I need to sew backwards. Now I'll come here and bring it up. Can you see? I'll bring it up, then I'll move to the front again. That's sewing backwards. Can you see? If I need to come back to the front, I'll bring it down. Don't forget, don't bring it down. I'll bring it almost down, not hot to the end, and sew it to the front again. So that's how this machine works. Now to the industrial machine. The same way you have shuttle and reeler for the manual, you also have shuttle and reeler for the industrial. Can you see the shuttle for the industrial? Quite beautiful. And this is the reeler for the industrial. So the same way I insert it, can you see my thread is going in this direction? So I'm going to insert it like that in this direction. I bring it here and move it here. Can you see? Make sure it's moving out freely. Moving out freely. Can you see the space here? My shuttle now, I've inserted inside the hole. When you insert it and it goes, did you hear pass? When it enters, there's a way it will stand. When it enters the hole, move it closer please. Can you hear this sand? So it means it has entered. Now to fix the thread now, this is my thread. I'll place my thread on this seat here. Pass it through the back. And pass it to this front here. Can you see? I'll pass it the front here. I'll pass it through here. That's the next. Then I'll pass it from the back here. From the back here, I'll pass it here and bring it out here, and then pass it behind. Pass it behind. Can you see? And then I bring it here. Can you see this? The center of in between these two stuffs here, in between here, I'll pass it from the center, not behind though, the middle, like this. Can you see? Not behind, should be the middle. Can you see it? Then I'll pass it behind here. Can you see? Then from there, I'll pass it here. Then I'll pass it here. Can you see this side? Can you see this side now? Coming out from here before I pass it inside here. Then from there, I'll just use it to hook here. This here. Then pass it through this small tiny hole before the needle. Pass it in. Can you see? Then I'll pass it inside the needle. Close up this place. I'll pass it inside the needle from here out. Here out. So it means your needle has to be facing like sideways. The whole of your needle has to be facing sideways. So when you see your machine needle, a part of it has a very long line. I'll show you your machine needle now. So I'll fix it inside the hole. So I'll turn my machine also the way I turn down to the front and bring out my thread. Can you see it's bringing out the thread already? It has brought out the thread already, so I'll pull it out. So that's how to sew on this. Then I'll plug my machine and turn on the switch, and then I'll turn it on here. Here is sand. Then I'll lift it up. There's something underneath your machine. There's something underneath your machine. You're not carrying it. This thing, I'll use my leg like this to move it to the side. It's still moving. I'll use my leg to move it to the side. Can you see? So it will raise this part up. If I bring it down, it brings it down. If I move it to the side, it will raise it up. Then I'll put my clothes on it, under it like this, and turn and press gently. Can you see sewing? If I press it too much, it will move. But because I just started, it's better you press it gently, so you don't just start cutting all the threads off unnecessarily. So I'll press it and move. So if I want to go back for this machine, if I want to go to the back, I'll press this part of the machine down. I'll hold it down and sew. Can you see it's going to the back? If I'm coming back to the front, I release it and come back to the front. So for this machine now, you have the tightening of your machine is here. The tightening of your machine is here. So if I want to sew gathers on this machine, loose stitches, I'll press this down and turn to 5. 5 will give me my loose stitches. But if I want a normal stitch, I'm still pressing it down. I'll turn it to like 2.5 or 3. 3 is very much okay. So the tighter the stitch, the smaller I would bring it here. So if I want a very, very, very tight stitch, it means I can bring it to 1 or between 1 and 2 and all like that. Did you get that? Thank you. See you in the next class.